the kuip extra innings as tonight the Giants crushed the Rockies and avoid being the first Giants team in franchise history not to go winless at Coors Field in a single season. You can follow me at robiman at twitter.com. This was a really good game by the Giants. Really excellent game by the Giants. And really good outing from Johnny Cueto tonight. He looked awesome on the mound. I think this is the best I've seen Cueto pitch since returning from injury, and best I've seen Cueto pitch all season. If Cueto can be healthy next season, I think he can truly be an asset, be that number 2 starter the Giants envision this year. But yeah, it's really good to finally see Cueto looking 100% after all the things he's had to go through this season. Losing his dad, the blisters, the arm. 3 more weeks left of the season. I'd like to see Cueto just let it ride here the last 3 weeks. We'll see how his. But I'm really encouraged in the last 2 starts how well Cueto's pitched, and hopefully it could be a sign that it can carry over into next season and give the Giants some hope and some opportunity for next season. But that was just the tip of the iceberg today. Man, what a game by Joe Panik. What a series by Joe Panik. But yeah, 5 for 6 tonight for Joe Panik, and overall in the series, 12 hits. That is really good job by Joe Panik. I think he could certainly be a keeper for next season, especially with Brandon Belt, who may not come back next year. He might consider it a career after suffering his 4th concussion. So I think now Panik's average is up to 285. I would really like to see Joe Panik finish the season with 300 batting average. That would be a big confidence boost going into 2018. And he's also starting to become more of a pull hitter as of late. So that would really, I always like to see that power come. Giants definitely need power next year. Nick Hundley 2 for 5 with a home run. That was a nice home run by Hundley. Wow. And Kelby Tomlinson, 2 for 5. I certainly think Kelby Tomlinson definitely is going to get another start at third on Friday in Chicago. Kelby looked hitting wise, he looked great. Defense, okay, but with Panda tying Johnny LeMatthews, I think Panda does need a bit of a break at third. And he might be a platoon player at best, the way he's been playing as of late. So I truly think he'd be better off being in a platoon role next year. And we'll see how Christian Arroyo does in the fall league and the winter league down in Puerto Rico. So we'll hopefully. You never know. You got Eduardo Nunez could be coming back to the Giants next year. But I'd like to see Christian Arroyo try to win down that job next year in spring training. I think it's Christian Arroyo's job to lose next year. But Kelby did a great job at third tonight. I definitely think Tomlinson should start at third again. Give Pablo a long rest, and hopefully he doesn't doesn't go 0 for 38. Well, actually, Sandoval did break the record tonight. And this is a dubious record I didn't want to see happen to Panda, but it did tonight. And now he's definitely surpassed Johnny LeMaster by going 0 for 38 tonight. So that's but what's worse is he is now 8 away from the dubious record by Eugenio Velez, who is currently 0 for 46, and technically if he were to ever would still be an active streak in the event that Velez were to ever come back. But I do remember Velez as a Giant. He did some base stealing and stuff. He was a good pinch hitter. That was about it. And Crawford, 2 for 5. His average is starting to climb up. So I hope Crawford can have a better 2018. I'm really encouraged by Crawford's. And also welcome back Austin Slater, who was activated from the disabled list. 1 for 5 tonight. And due to technical difficulties last night, I was not able to get on air, but the Giants added a couple more pitchers, Reyes Maranta, and then they purchased the contract of Roberto Gomez. I like what Maranta showed some good stuff last night. I would have liked to see DJ Snelton get on the 40-man roster. And still, I think maybe it's time to shut down Mark Melanson. He's tried, but I think the surgery has to happen. And I think his spot would be better served by DJ Snelton. They definitely need another lefty option in the pen besides Osich and Okert, who are just not ready for. Who are just, I don't know. they're too good for AAA, but they're not good enough for the majors. They're almost like they need to maybe go overseas next year. And also a good night for the Mack truck, who got a home run, and now he's at 238. Mac Williamson's looked good since being called back up, so maybe he's starting to find his swing. And that would be a really encouraging sign if he can find that power. I really think the Mack truck could be the power bat the Giants have been missing in that lineup this year. And he could be a good in-house candidate if he can certainly tear it up on the spring training next year. I think Williamson could be a good center field option or right field option next year. And I certainly think it's maybe time to maybe really limit Span and Pence here down the stretch. Maybe give them limited starts. But I don't. Next year they could end up being platoon partners. You never know. But I think. But yeah, I really think you'd start limiting Span and Pence's starts for the remainder of the season. Let the youngsters figure it out the next 3 weeks. I'd maybe give Mac Williamson more time out in right field. Maybe go Slater. And, I certainly think Gorkis Hernandez is going to be back next year. Gorkis is the poor man's Gregor Blanco. I really liked how Gorkis Hernandez is done as that fourth outfielder this year. And Gorkis didn't have a bad night either. 2 for 6 for Gorkis and passable average at 258. I certainly think Gorkis will be back around. I think Slater could be a candidate in spring training. Mac Williamson and maybe Jarrett Parker, depending on if Parker can get back into before the season ends. And Crick rebounded from that poor outing the other night. I certainly think Kyle Crick could be that 6th inning. Especially if, but yeah, I think certainly Crick could be a late innings pitcher next year if injuries were to occur. And I'd like to see Derek Law rebound here. And he tore up on Freeland, who had a decent ERA for Coors. Kyle Freeland went 3 in the 3rd innings pitched, 5 runs, 3 earned. The bullpen wasn't too much better. Jeff Hoffman, 3 earned runs and 2 innings pitched. Shane Carl, 2 innings, 3 earned runs. And Cargo was the only one who really beat us tonight, 2 for 2. But I certainly like the number the Giants put on Nolan Arenado tonight. The Giant Killer went 0 for 4 tonight with 2 strikeouts. Not usually a very good night if you can do that at Coors. And Buster Posey wasn't in the lineup as I thought. And I think, if the Giants are smart the last 3 weeks, you may only see Posey catch when Bumgarner's starting. So you might see Posey catch Friday in Chicago. But I think the rest of the starts he should play first base. You play maybe Posey at first, platoon Sandoval and Ryder Jones at 3rd. And maybe let Fedorovitz and Hundley be behind the squat when Bumgarner's not starting. Especially this could be an audition for Posey to play first next year. And if Belt decides not to come back next year, you really have to give a hard look at moving Buster to first base, whether he likes it or not. and it'll be good for his safety and stuff. He's on the wrong side of 30, and you got to protect him. He hits better when he's not catching. I know Buster loves to catch, but you have to expand his shelf life a little bit, and hopefully they can talk him into playing first if Belt's not coming back next year. That's all I've said I wanted to say for tonight, but that was really good outing for the Giants tonight, just to avoid going winless at Coors. That was really good. All right, let's go around the league with other scores. The Reds beat the Brewers 7-1. Your winning pitcher, Luis Castillo. Your losing pitcher, Matt Garza. And probably the worst possible time for the Brewers to get swept. And Garza only went 2 2/3 innings, 5 earned runs. So I think Garza's days as a Brewer are pretty much over. The Twins beat the Rays 10-6. Your winning pitcher, Taylor Rogers. Your losing pitcher, Steve Cishek. Eduardo Escobar 3 for 5 for the Twins. Chris Jimenez 2 for 3. Evan Longoria 2 for 3 for the Rays with the home run in this game. Ian Snell, not a good day. 4 innings pitched, 6 earned runs. Not any much better by Aaron Slegers, 5 earned runs in 4 innings pitched. The Rangers beat the Braves 12-8. Your winning pitcher, Austin Beebens-Dirks. Your losing pitcher, Luis Gohara. Elvis Andrus 4 for 5 for the Rangers tonight. Freddie Freeman 2 for 3 for Atlanta. Ender Inciarte 3 for 5. And Gohara in his major league debut, 6 earned runs and 4 innings pitched. And also, the Giants were mathematically eliminated for the wild card, so the Giants are the first team to be officially eliminated from the postseason this year. And for Texas, Miguel Gonzalez, 4 earned runs, 3 innings pitched. Tyson Ross, 2/3 innings pitched, 2 earned runs in a relief appearance. And the A's snap a 7-game losing streak, beating the Angels 3-1. Your winning pitcher, Sean Mineo. Your losing pitcher, Tyler Skaggs. Chris Davis 3 for 3 for the A's. And Matt Chapman was ejected today for arguing, for confronting Calhoun about stealing signals, or Gratterall, excuse me, for stealing signs. We'll see if there's a fine for the. We'll see if he gets fined for it or not. Could end up being a fine, but we'll see what happens. there's any fine or a suspension for it. And the Orioles and Yankees were rained out today. The Cubs beat the Pirates 1-0. Your winning pitcher, Pedro Strop. Your losing pitcher, Daniel Hudson. And good outing from Jose Quintana and Garrett Cole. I think Garrett Cole could be a hot commodity at winter meetings. And the Red Sox beat the Blue Jays 6-1. Your winning pitcher, Doug Fister. Your losing pitcher, Joe Biagini. Biagini 5 earned runs and 3 1/3 innings pitched for Toronto. Another real excellent outing from Doug Fister. 1 earned run, 9 strikeouts. I certainly think he could get a contract extension in Boston next year. And the Royals beat the Tigers 13-2. Your winning pitcher, Jason Hamill. Your losing pitcher, Matt Boyd. Mike Moustakas 2 for 3 for Kansas City. Alcides Escobar 4 for 5. Five earned runs from Joe Jimenez and 1/3 of an inning pitched. Zach Renninger, 2 earned runs and 2/3 of an inning pitched. And also, we do have a trade to announce. St. Louis today traded for Juan Nicasio. Was claimed off of waivers, so that's bad news for Pittsburgh. But the good news is if St. Louis were to make the postseason, Nicasio would be ineligible for the postseason roster. And the Mets beat the Phillies 6-3. Your winning pitcher, Robert Gesselman. Your losing pitcher, Nick Pivetta, in a rain-shortened game. Cesar Hernandez 3 for 3 for the Phillies. Asdrubal Cabrera 3 for 3 for the Mets, Travis D'Arnaud 2 for 3. Pavetta 6 earned runs and 5 innings pitched. Before it started raining at Citi Field. And the Nationals sweep the Marlins 8-1. I think this is the 4th or 5th straight game Miami has lost. And with tonight's win, yeah, they've lost 4 in a row. And now the magic number for Washington's only 6 to win the NL East. So Washington might be the first team to actually win their division. Gio Gonzalez, your winning pitcher, your losing pitcher, Dylan Peters. Ryan Zimmerman 3 for 5. Michael Taylor 2 for 3. And another excellent outing out of Gio Gonzalez. Vance Worley 3 earned runs in 1 inning pitched out of the pen today. And he also hit Kendrick with a pitch. The Braves beat the Rangers 5-4. Your winning pitcher, Julio Teheran. Your losing pitcher, Cole Hamels. In the second game of a doubleheader. Nomar Mazara 2 for 2. Ender Inciarte 2 for 3. And Teheran, not a bad outing. 3 earned runs and 5 innings pitched. But Mazara left the game with a right quadrant injury in the bottom of the 6th. And the Indians beat the White Sox 5-1. Your winning pitcher, Carlos Carrasco. Your losing pitcher, Reynaldo Lopez. And this is Cleveland's 14th straight victory, which I think ties a franchise record. Carlos Santana 3 for 4 for Cleveland. Danny Farquhar 2 earned runs without recording an out. And Carrasco complete game, 1 earned run, 9 strikeouts. And the Astros sweep the Mariners 5-3. Your winning pitcher, Chris Davinsky. Your losing pitcher, Edwin Diaz. Josh Reddick 2 for 3 for the Astros tonight. And this was Lance McCullers' return from the disabled list. Not too bad. 5 1/3 innings, 3 earned runs. And getting McCullers and Keuchel back on top of acquiring Verlander, that really sets up Houston for the playoff stretch here. But some news, my hometown, Fresno, where their AAA affiliate is, Tony DeFrancesco and the Astros are going to be parting ways, so there's going to be a managing vacancy for the Grizzlies next year. I wish DeFrancesco a lot of luck. I think he's indicating maybe he's looking for other opportunities, or maybe he might be retiring from baseball, so we'll see what happens. But hopefully they'll have a new manager sooner or later, as DeFrancesco's brought the Grizzlies their only championship, and hopefully things will work out for him. And then Edwin Diaz for Seattle, 2 earned runs and 1 inning pitched. And the Cardinals beat the Padres 3-1. Your winning pitcher, Ryan Sheriff. Your losing pitcher, Dinelson Lamet. And now St. Louis climbs into second place after winning tonight. And now your probables for the series against the White Sox as they get ready to make the trip to U.S. Cellular Field. Oh, and currently in progress, in the bottom of the ninth inning, the Dodgers are losing to the Diamondbacks 3-1. So they're in danger of being swept again by the Diamondbacks, which would also be their sixth straight loss. And that would only put the D-backs 10.5 games behind the LA Dodgers if they were to lose tonight. So see how that works out. Friday's probables are Matt Moore against Lucas Giolito. Saturday's start would be Samardzija against Shields. And Sunday will be Madison Bumgarner against David Holmberg. All right, now you're up to the date standings. Boston's out 4 games on New York. And Baltimore's just a game out of the wild card at this point. And Tampa Bay falls to 3 games back after losing to Minnesota. Cleveland's now up 11 games on Minnesota. Minnesota still leads the wild card. Kansas City gets back to 500, 2.5 back of Minnesota for the wild card. And Houston's 14.5 games up on LA. So their magic number is close to 10. The Angels are half game out of the wild card. And Texas 2 out. Seattle falls to 3 out after getting swept by Houston. And Washington, like I said, they're 6 games away from clinching the East. And Miami 7 back of the wild card. And St. Louis jumps to second place tonight after sweeping the Padres, which puts them 4 back of Chicago, 2 back of the wild card. And Milwaukee, after getting swept by Cincy, 4.5 games back of the division, 2.5 back of the wild card. So you got to watch out for those last place teams. They could certainly be spoilers down the stretch as players are playing for roster spots here in the last 3 weeks. And in the NL West, Arizona could be 10.5 games back of of Los Angeles after tonight, and up 7 in the wild card. While Colorado continues to try to hang on to that last wild card. All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in tonight. Together we're giant. Keep it orange, keep it black, keep it orange and black. Good night, everybody.